The one that I feel like is the most unpredictable, because the league is the most unpredictable, is the Big 12. Yeah. So let me give you 3 Big 12 statements, and let's have some fun with this, because I do think this is going to be the biggest choose your own adventure league that we've seen in a long time. So statement number 1, Colorado will make a bowl game, because I just got to get your hot take on that. Statement 2, at least one of the following teams will make the Big 12 title game: Kansas State, Utah, or Oklahoma State. Statement 3, at least one of the following teams will make the Big 12 title game: UCF, TCU, West Virginia.
All right, so Colorado will make a bowl game. That is true.
Okay.
At least one of Kansas State, Utah, and Oklahoma State will make the Big 12 title. That is also true. I think it's going to be Utah and Oklahoma State personally, but there's a case for K-State as well. That's also true. The one that is not true is either UCF, West Virginia, or TCU making that title game. All 3 teams are worthy for being in this question. I understand why you put them there. Also, bear in mind, the reason that this is kind of a controversial thing to even talk about, West Virginia is a 6.5 over-under. Both TCU and UCF are 7.5 over-unders. So there are serious questions about all 3 of these schools. The good news for West Virginia, for as much as I like West Virginia and their offense, and I think their defense can improve as well, the good news is they don't play Utah, which I think stands to benefit them. The bad news is they play literally everybody else. All right. So I'm kind of throwing them out of this conversation.
I also intentionally left a kind of co-favorite out of those.
Yes.
For a reason. I did not put Arizona in there for a reason. It was more to give myself some wiggle room.
That's right. No, I noticed that as well. The UCF thing, I mean, I have baggage with Ted Roof running Penn State's defense. Go back a decade. I never got over that. So the fact that they bring him in now to fix the defense, even though he's got a track record for doing well against the run, I'm out on UCF, though I think they're going to be loaded on offense. And TCU, I just don't know directionally which way that program is headed. There's not a lot that I look at on TCU and I say, I'm afraid of that guy, or I'm afraid of that unit in particular. So for me, too many questions about those 3 teams. I think that's the lie.
I'm going to agree with Ty, but like I have been prone to being seduced by KJ Jefferson, especially with a good offensive mind. I don't know, having the receivers that he'll have this year at UCF is definitely a more advantaged place than he's been at Arkansas these past couple of years. And so I can squint and talk myself in, but the back half of that schedule is pretty brutal if you don't have a defense in place. I think 5 of their 6 final games are legit challenging. So yeah, what do we have here? Iowa State on the road, Arizona State not, but at West Virginia, Utah. So 4 of those.
You're at West Virginia and at Iowa State, both tough. You got to play Arizona. Colorado comes to you. Utah comes to you. Yeah, if UCF gets there, they earned it.
Yeah, not only do they earn it, but I think it signifies that the defense does improve. Let me say this about UCF, regardless of whether they make this title game, that schedule that we just saw, that figures to be a hell of a TV show, because their offense is going to be loaded. It's still a Gus Malzahn offense who knows how to work with the likes of a KJ Jefferson type and with exciting ground options like RJ Harvey. They're going to put up a ton of points. It stands to reason they could play in a lot of shootouts this year. It'll be good TV. It might be frustrating if you're a UCF fan, but they will be in a lot of those games, and they'll at least make it fun to watch from afar.
Could be the nail in the Billy Napier coffin as well.
Well, visit from Coach Prime in Orlando to trip to Gainesville the following week. A lot going on in that 8-day stretch for UCF.
I think, by the way, regarding Colorado, I think they're going to be improved. There's always a chance, right, that Colorado completely collapses. I don't think they have the depth to have a crazy improvement this year, but I think they'll have enough offensive pop. The competence on the offensive line can only get better. Shedeur Sanders, one of the most sacked quarterbacks in college football last year, added legit talent on the defensive line. I don't think they have the depth, right? I don't think they have the star power at as many position groups as you need to win like 9 games, even in like what seems to be a pretty wide open Big 12. But yeah, one of my best bets of the year is I think Colorado is going to be great against North Dakota State in week 1. And people are like talking to themselves like, oh, North Dakota State. Like, I don't know. They lost their head coach. Their defense took a pretty big step back last year. Like North Dakota State isn't where they were under.
Yeah,
Coach
the
Klein.
David Braun leaving before last season, Matt Ince leaving before that matters.
I
And
agree.
also, South Dakota State is the team that's been winning
Go Jacks.
in the FCS. Now, they lost a lot, too. They play Oklahoma State week 1. That's a fun game, too.
Lost their offensive coordinator to David Braun.
Exactly. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.